So I always avoided the artist's way, which was in 1992. Took me about 30 years to finally surrender and go, okay, I'll try it. The idea of this from Julia Cameron is simply to be able to write anything that is called morning pages for about 3 minutes every single day. I have done this for 60 days consistently, and I am going to give you the most rawest review that is going to save you 2 months of doing this painfully and actually give you the deets of what actually happened. You don't need a new project to feel creative. You just need a recovery plan. And the artist's way gave me one. In all honesty, I avoided the artist's way for so many years because it was too woo-woo, it didn't seem legit, it seemed like, oh God, is there a book just about that one thing? Like I had so many ideas in my brain. Until one day I was like, you know what, I'm missing something. I'm missing something in my creative process when I'm designing brand deals, when I'm doing strategies for brand deals, when I'm literally in the midst of the creative process. There is something I'm missing, and there is something in my mind that needs to be ticked over. I can't pinpoint it, but I'm willing to try anything. So at that point, I thought, I don't think a mentor can teach me this. I don't think it's someone that is going to go, do this, add more on your plate. I actually felt I need to pull back a little bit and get back to ground basics. So I tried it. So the 3 main things that Artist Way teaches is 1, morning pages, to spend 3 minutes roughly each day, almost like verbal diarrhea coming out of your brain on a piece of paper. You write everything possible that is going through your brain with the intention at the end it clears and declutters your brain to be able to be in that flow state and creative space to come up with new ideas or better ideas that you are working on with a project or day to day. The second piece that it teaches in the book is taking yourself on what is called an artist date, meaning you take yourself for like an hour, 2 hours a week to simply go on a date with yourself. And it's something that has to re-nourish your creative spirit. So for me, I know I needed to read creative books, not only just to digest, but to simply find new perspectives in creativity that was going to expand my own mind, rather than take on more load of this strategy, this method, that it was just gonna be like, you know. With that, then there is weekly tasks that are within the same theme of the morning pages or taking yourself on a date that would literally just be in line with what you were doing. So here is my actual experience of doing morning pages. So first of all, the first week is very hesitational. You are going through the motion of what am I writing? But then as I would say week 3 happened, it allowed me to be able to notice different parts of my brain, to write it down in real time, that then I noticed slowed down my nervous system, bringing myself into self-regulation, to notice things that I'd never noticed before in my brain, that in all honesty, I spent 3 years with a neuroscientist doing the exact same work, but this was free, took 3 minutes, not 3 years to do this, and got the same result. Saying that, I found afterwards when I was doing it, if you're anything like me, if I get consistent with something and then one day I don't do it, I'm like, nah, my streak is gone. I am a Duolingo girl that has done 1,079 days. I cannot miss a day when I have started. But I noticed when I've missed a day, I was like, right, well, it's that's that then. Like I've gone back to square one, let me start again. When actually you can take a few days off of that and come back and you'll have even more to write. But it's building that muscle to allow yourself to notice all the parts of your brain, and for some reason it just allows you to see a new perspective of life. When it complements with that artist date that you take yourself on for yourself and your creative spirit, there's 1 or 2 things that can happen here. 1, you're either so resistant because you have never given yourself that time and space to be able to just reflect, and you go into either panic mode, resistance mode, anxiety, thinking about all the other things you have to do, and you're sat there doing this one thing. Or after a while, if you're anything like me, it actually shifted me in the thing of, I want to do this consistently. I want to do this going forward, and I'm not gonna let myself down, because if I don't do this, My work is not going to improve. My relationships are just going to stay the same. I'm always investing in mentors, coaches, when I actually think this is worth the time. And when I started to do it, I realized it was not only a sense of self-care for me, but it was a sense of enhancing my creative brain to be able to do better work, better brand deals. And it did result in better brand deals, better storytelling in my own content, better relationships, because I was able to convey and understand and be present with them. There are so many benefits to it, but I was so resistant to it. So now I am on month 4. I had 1 month off roughly, and now back into it for another month. And I have noticed that actually I've adopted it as a way of being now and a way of living that is a non-negotiable for not only my set of skills, but my brain, my curiosity, my play, and me as an artist, a brand, an individual that really wants to do creative things in the world. And I actually think even if you're not creative, you kind of need to be doing this. Not because it's another thing to add on your plate, not because it's like gonna be like a magic pill, but what it is gonna do is be able to expand you as a person and be able to stretch you and your capabilities in this life. And I do think people need to do this more often. It's like therapy, but with yourself, is the best way I can describe it. I would love to hear your insight. If you have done this yourself, how did you find it? Are you still doing it? And what are the main takeaways you had from this experience? Let me know in the comments. I would love to see it, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.